The sun bled crimson through the haze as Kaelen stepped into the ruins of a shattered city. She moved silently, her armor plates gleaming faintly, her plasma glaive humming with energy. Around her, shadows lengthened among the rubble. Then she heard it. The crunch of boots on stone. The steady rhythm of someone unafraid. Elias Thorne emerged from the smoke, clad in battle-scarred armor. His dark hair was matted with sweat, a streak of blood along his jaw, but his eyes were sharp, unwavering. He carried a kinetic blade on his hip and a modified rifle slung across his back. "You came alone," Elias said, his voice calm. "That's bold." Kaelen tilted her head, her scaled lips curling into a smirk. "I require no army to destroy you, human. You are merely prey, and I am the huntress." Elias chuckled softly. "Funny. The last huntress who came after me didn't walk away." That pricked her pride. She lunged forward, glaive slicing through the air with the speed of lightning. Elias dodged, his reflexes sharp, the blade grazing his armor but not cutting flesh. The duel began. The battle. Kaelen pressed her assault, every strike precise, every movement honed by decades of training. Sparks flew as glaive met blade, the ruins echoing with a clash of metal and plasma. Elias fought defensively at first, parrying, sidestepping, rolling with the momentum of her strikes. But something unsettled Kaelen. The human wasn't panicked. His breathing was steady, his eyes alert. He moved not like prey, but like a predator waiting for an opening. "You're slower than I expected," Elias said, ducking under a swing and driving his elbow into her midsection. Kaelen staggered back, surprised. "Pain. From a human strike. Impossible." Snarling, she unleashed a flurry of blows, each meant to overwhelm and crush. Elias countered with calculated precision, never matching her strength directly, but redirecting it, turning her momentum against her. The fight spilled deeper into the ruins. Kaelen's glaive scorched walls and shattered stone, while Elias's blade cut arcs of steel through the smoke. At one point, he even disarmed her rifle with a precise shot, forcing her into close-quarters combat. She grew frustrated. The human was supposed to be fragile, inferior. Yet his resilience gnawed at her confidence. "You fight like someone who has lost everything," Kaelen hissed. Elias's jaw tightened. "I fight like someone who refuses to lose more." Cracks in certainty. The duel dragged on, and Kaelen began to feel fatigue, something she had never experienced in battle. Her people's physiology gave them stamina far beyond human limits. But Elias's tactics weren't about brute force. He made her chase him, waste energy on wide swings, force her into tight corners where her glaive was less effective. For the first time, Kaelen realized she had underestimated him. You should not be standing," she growled, panting, her golden eyes narrowing. Elias smirked. "Humans have a saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog." Confusion flickered across her face. "You compare yourself to an animal? Call it what you want," Elias replied, raising his blade. "But it means I'm not done yet." The words cut deeper than his weapon. For Kaelen had always believed strength was destiny. Yet here stood a human, battered but unyielding, defying every expectation she had. And she began to doubt. The turning point. The duel reached its climax atop a crumbling tower. The city burned below, and the wind howled through shattered windows. Kaelen struck with fury, her glaive sparking against Elias's blade, each blow threatening to knock him from the ledge. But Elias fought smarter. He used the environment, the unstable floor, the falling debris, the narrow space. With a sudden feint, he baited her into overextending. Her glaive lodged into a cracked pillar, stuck for a precious moment. That was all he needed. Elias surged forward, blade at her throat. Kaelen froze, her chest heaving. For the first time in her warrior life, she was defeated. He could have ended her. The blade pressed close enough that a twitch would spill her blood. Yet he didn't move. "Do it," she spat, her pride forcing the words out. "Kill me." Elias shook his head. "No, that's not who I am." She blinked. "You would spare your enemy." "I didn't come here to slaughter," he said, lowering the blade. "I came to protect. To prove that humanity won't bow. If killing you makes me like the ones who started this war, then I've already lost." Kaelen stared at him, stunned. Mercy was not a concept her people honored. In the Zyrith code, weakness was purged, enemies eliminated. Yet here was a human, offering her life back, even after she tried to end his. Something cracked inside her. Not her body but her certainty. The aftermath. Kaelen fell to her knees, trembling, not from pain but from revelation. She had believed her strength made her superior. Yet Elias's strength came from something else. The will to fight for others, not just himself. "You are not what I expected," she whispered. Elias extended a hand to her, helping her to her feet. "Neither are you. You could have brought an army, but you chose to face me alone. That tells me something too." In the distance, the thunder of war still rumbled. But in that ruined tower something shifted. For Kaelen no longer saw Elias as prey, nor even as an enemy. She saw him as an equal, a warrior who had shown her a truth she had never known. And for the first time in her life, Kaelen Dara questioned the dominion she had sworn to serve. The ending. When the battle ended and both sides withdrew, whispers spread across the warfront. The alien commander who had always triumphed had been bested by a human. But stranger still, the human had spared her. Kaelen carried that memory with her. Every time she stood among her people, every time she heard their talk of domination and superiority, she remembered Elias Thorne's eyes, filled not with hate but with resolve. The war was far from over. Yet in the heart of one alien woman, the seeds of change had been planted. And perhaps one day that seed would grow into something greater than conquest, into understanding. For the alien woman thought she could easily defeat the human warrior. But she realized she was wrong.